I'm not going to teach you tricks that disrespect women, cross consent, or try to game someone's emotions. That's weak. What I will give you is the real hard-edged psychology of attraction, a mentor's playbook for becoming a grounded, self-respecting man who leads, communicates clearly, honors boundaries, and creates powerful chemistry without manipulation. If what you want is mastery that you can live with and live up to, then lean in and listen closely. You already know the feeling of being the nice guy. You're thoughtful, you do the right things, you say the right words, and somehow she still looks past you for the man who isn't trying so hard. That sting is real. It makes you second-guess your instincts, tighten your chest, and wonder if the game is rigged. But it isn't rigged, it has rules nobody taught you. The nice guy performs for approval. The grounded man carries his own approval into the room. She feels that difference immediately. He doesn't need to be louder, he simply takes up his rightful space, his shoulders relaxed, his breath deep, his eyes steady. He doesn't ask for permission to be himself. He brings a clear frame. This is who I am, this is what I value, and this is how I move. If what you've heard so far is shifting how you see yourself, stay with me until the end, because we're just getting started. Tonight, I'm handing you a new lens, a way to walk into any interaction with the weight of your presence doing half the talking for you. Let's begin with the core split. The nice guy tries to earn attention with favors, agreeableness, and invisible contracts. If I do enough, she'll feel something. But attraction isn't a receipt you collect after you serve. Attraction is sensation. It's her body registering your presence as calm, certain, directional. When you hide your desire behind platonic gestures, you don't come off as safe. You come off as foggy. There's no edge, no polarity, no tension for her to lean into. The grounded man doesn't hide his desire, and he doesn't dump it on her either. He names it cleanly. I like your energy. You're interesting. I'm enjoying this. He's not pushing for anything. He's owning what he feels and giving her a clear choice. Most men never learn this because they've been trained to fear rejection more than they respect their truth. When you stop treating her attention like oxygen and start treating it like a conversation between equals, everything changes. She feels the dignity in your posture and the steadiness in your voice, and that steadiness gives her room to relax into the moment. Presence is your first lever. Many men try to compensate for lack of presence with words, humor, or status symbols. Presence is simpler. Unclench your jaw, drop your breath low into your belly, slow your blink rate, track her with soft, unhurried eye contact, and let silence stretch for a beat longer than you're used to. In that extra beat, your nervous system tells hers, I'm comfortable here. That comfort is contagious. She reads you with her body before she ever evaluates your resume. You could have the looks, the car, the bank account, and if your nervous system is screaming, please like me, she will feel the static. You could have none of those extras, and if your energy says, I choose my life, she will feel the gravity. Presence is not something you perform, it's something you stop interrupting. Imagine stepping into a room already full of music. Your job isn't to start the song, it's to get quiet enough to hear it and move with it. That's presence. Polarity is your second lever. The nice guy flattens polarity in the name of safety. He smooths everything out until there's nothing to feel. The grounded man holds a clean masculine edge, which isn't aggression, isn't bravado, and isn't dominance for its own sake. It's direction plus warmth. It's the ability to lead without controlling, to invite without chasing, to tease without cutting. You create polarity when your words and your energy carry a subtle tension. I like you, and I'm not in a hurry. I'm interested, and I'm not abandoning myself to get you. That tension is the spark that makes her glance linger. It's not a trick, it's how humans are wired. We are drawn to what is confident enough to desire us and sovereign enough to walk away. When you carry that paradox, open heart, strong spine, you become memorable. You become the moment she replays in her mind while she's brushing her hair before sleep. Safety is your third lever, and it's non-negotiable. Not performative safety, not fake niceness, but the integrity that says, your yes and your no matter to me because mine matter to me. A man who respects his own boundaries can respect hers. A man who can say no can be trusted when he says yes. Safety isn't over-explaining. It's being clear, listening, checking in, and never pushing. You want her to feel that she can step toward you at her pace, and that you won't move the goalposts or punish her for having a mind and a rhythm of her own. Consent spoken in a relaxed tone, "Is this okay? Do you want to?" is not awkward. It's the sexiest way you signal that your desire is powerful and under control. A woman will only blossom fully in the presence of a man who can hold both hunger and honor. That's the man she remembers, the man she trusts, the man she wants to explore with. Here's where your mindset becomes the fuel. Stop playing to not lose. The nice guy is always protecting a fantasy. He lives in outcomes. Will she like me? Will this go somewhere? Am I enough? And so he contorts. The grounded man lives in the process. He checks in with a simpler question. Am I being the man I respect right now? That standard is clean. It's doable in any room, at any table, with any woman. It keeps you expressive when you feel a spark and composed when you don't. It lets you say, I enjoyed meeting you, whether she reciprocates or not. When you build your behavior on a code rather than an outcome, rejection loses its power to bruise your identity. Rejection becomes information, nothing more. And ironically, that's what makes you more attractive. You stop needing approval to breathe. If this is hitting something inside you, drop your thoughts below. I read every single one. Let's talk tactics you can apply the next time you lock eyes with someone you'd like to meet. Start by grounding your body. You don't need a long ritual, you need 10 seconds. Plant your feet evenly, relax your abdomen, draw one deliberate breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Feel your shoulders drop half an inch. That's your reset. Now scan the environment with curiosity, not hunting energy. Curiosity is light. It makes your gaze kinder, your micro-expressions warmer. When you approach as if you are already in a good conversation with your life. You're adding a person to that conversation. Your opener isn't a line, it's an observation that places you both inside the same moment. This place has a way of making time slow down. Or, you picked the bold color and it paid off. You're not asking for validation, you're offering a perspective. The tone is playful and grounded. You deliver your words like they matter to you. You're okay if they don't matter to her. Your voice is an instrument, use it. Most men squeeze their words to get them over with. Instead, let your voice ride your breath. Lower the speed by 10%, add a micro-pause after your point, and let your eyes hold hers for a heartbeat before you glance away. This tiny choreography communicates composure. She feels that you're not racing to the finish line of the interaction. Now the conversation. Think in 3 beats. Beat 1 is the present, your shared environment or the thing she just said. Beat 2 is a personal reveal, an opinion, a playful take, a true preference. Beat 3 is an invitation. I'm grabbing a tea in a minute. Join me for 10. Or you seem fun and a little dangerous. Tell me one story that proves me right. You're not interrogating. You're creating a small frame that leads somewhere, and you're perfectly okay if she declines. That okayness is freedom. Freedom is attractive. Flirting is an art of contrasts. The nice guy compliments to get. The grounded man compliments to express. He knows the compliment is just one stroke on the canvas. Balance it with a tease that respects her dignity. You have the laugh of someone who gets away with things, occasionally, delivered with a half smile that says you're in on the joke, not above her. Then add a small challenge to evoke her playfulness. Convince me you're not the trouble your friends warn people about. The sequence is simple: appreciate, tease, invite. It creates a loop of warmth and spark without tipping into meanness. You'll be tempted to overdo it. Don't. Leave air in the moment so she can step into it. Calibrated touch only with consent and only when there's mutual ease is another channel. Early on, gesture with your hands so your intention reads clearly. And when the moment is right, she's leaning in, the vibe is light, you can offer a brief, friendly touch on the forearm as you emphasize a point and then release. Pay attention to her body language. If she pulls back, you take space immediately and keep the conversation flowing without comment. No pressure, no sulking. If she leans in or reciprocates, you can say plainly, "Is this okay?" Those 4 words are masculine. They're proof you can steer and still honor her signals. Remember, your goal isn't to get away with anything. It's to create a container where both of you feel free. On dates led like a man who knows his city and knows his taste. Choose a venue you genuinely enjoy. Somewhere with ambient sound low enough for your voice to land, lighting that flatters, and energy that's alive but not chaotic. Position yourselves at a comfortable angle, not face off like an interview. Move through the space. Stand to look at something. Shift seats. Take a brief walk between locations. Movement eases nerves and keeps the date unfolding. Tell stories that reveal values rather than only achievements. How you handled a tough decision. Why you changed paths at 25. What you learned from a mentor who challenged your excuses. Stories that show your code are more attractive than lists that show your resume. Ask questions that open doors. What do you wish people noticed about you sooner? What's a risk that paid off? Listen with your eyes. The trick is no trick. You let her feel felt. That's rare. That's magnetic. You'll encounter tests, spoken or silent. She might push a little to see if your confidence is stable or if it's a costume. You seem very sure of yourself. The nice guy deflates or performs humility. The grounded man smiles and says, "I've learned to trust my read, and I'm always willing to update it." That answer is firm without being brittle. Or she might tease you. "Is that your best line?" You chuckle, unbothered. "No. My best line is the one I say when I leave, but I'm not there yet." No heat, no defensiveness. Tests are invitations to play while keeping your center. Pass them by not reacting and by returning to the connection rather than the scoreboard. Boundaries are the masculine skeleton. Without them, you fold. With them, you stand tall. Set them quietly and early. You don't chase unreciprocated effort. You don't tolerate flakiness more than once. You don't explain your standards like a defendant. If she cancels last minute, you send, "No worries, let's try another time when your schedule settles." Then you wait. If she circles back, great. If not, you let it go. Your time matters, and you model that. Paradoxically, boundaries draw in the right women because they signal you're not grasping. You have a life that you protect. That's the gravitational pull she respects. Your digital presence is an extension of your energy. In messages, clarity and brevity beat constant availability. You mirror her investment without playing games. If she sends paragraphs, you respond with substance. If she's slow or brief, you don't fill the silence with needy prompts. You offer invitations, not constant check-ins. You avoid turning your phone into a vending machine for attention. And you never, ever punish or guilt someone into replying. That's the behavior of a boy. The man makes offers and moves forward with those who meet him there. What women really want isn't a cartoon alpha who bulldozes and wins at all costs, and it isn't a nice guy who makes himself small to be selected. What resonates deeply is a man who is emotionally sturdy, clear in his desires, honest about his limits, playful without cruelty, and capable of leading moments while being led by his principles. That combination unlocks a feminine response that is both soft and fierce. She wants to relax into your steadiness without feeling controlled. She wants to feel your desire without feeling used. She wants to experience your confidence without being dragged into your ego. Give her that, and you won't have to wonder what to say next. The moment will unfold because you're holding it well. Let's go deeper into your internal architecture. Confidence is not thinking you're the best, it's knowing you'll be fine. That simple recalibration removes pressure from the interaction. You can afford to be curious because you're not betting your self-worth on her answer. Desire becomes lighter when it isn't tied to survival. From that lightness, you can be bolder. You can say, "You're intriguing. I want to see how you think. Join me for a coffee this week." And if she says no, you remain fully yourself. You don't collapse, explain, or negotiate. You nod, smile, "Another time," and you exit cleanly. That exit teaches your nervous system something essential. You can move on without losing yourself. Practice it until it's your default. Masculine leadership shows up in small, consistent ways. You choose a time, you choose a place, you consider the details that create ease. A table where you can sit comfortably, an environment where conversation can breathe, a plan B in case the first spot is packed. You walk with an unhurried pace and a relaxed posture that says, "We have time." When decisions arise, what to order, where to sit, you propose and check in. "I'm leaning toward that corner table. You good with that?" That rhythm, decide and include, feels safe and attractive. It signals you're not outsourcing leadership and you're not steamrolling either. You're collaborating while taking initiative. Now let's talk about the chemistry switch most men ignore: admiration. Attraction often precedes admiration, but lasting desire requires it. You earn admiration by living a life that isn't centerless. A mission you care about, routines that keep you sharp, friendships that challenge you, standards that shape your days. These are not cliches. They are the soil of your magnetism. When you're anchored in a mission, you don't need to overinvest in any one interaction. Your eyes carry a horizon. Your attention is present, but not starving. She feels that your life matters to you and that she would be joining something real, not rescuing you from emptiness. The nice guy makes the woman his mission and suffocates the connection. The grounded man invites the woman into the slipstream of a life already moving. That's irresistible. There's a phrase you need to learn to say without flinching. I want to kiss you, if you want that too. Direct, honest, consensual. It takes courage to lay your cards on the table without leaning on tricks or waiting for fate to read your mind. You're not predicting the outcome. You're naming your desire and honoring her agency. If she says yes, you move with mindfulness and calm. If she says not yet, you smile and keep enjoying the moment because the moment is already a win. You revealed yourself and stayed whole. That's the muscle you're building. Reveal and remain whole. Do that repeatedly and you become the man whose presence makes others braver. Not every interaction will be green lights. You'll meet women who are bored, defensive, chaotic, or simply not for you. Your job is not to convert, it's to discern. You walk away when you feel disrespected. You stop investing when effort is one-sided. You end dates that drift into complaint spirals. The fastest way to level up your dating life is to stop feeding situations that can't nourish you. That self-respect recalibrates your signal, and the right women feel it immediately. It tells them, he is selective. He won't say yes just to be chosen. Selectivity is sexy. There's a reason you hear about mysterious men. Mystery isn't vagueness. It's depth that's revealed at a human pace. Nice guys overshare to fast-track intimacy. Performers overcurate to stay untouchable. The grounded man lets the layers open naturally. He's generous with stories when the vibe is right, and he doesn't rush connection like a transaction. He can hold a question without filling the air. He can accept a compliment without deflecting or fishing for more. That restraint reads as strength. Strength creates safety. Safety intensifies attraction, and the cycle continues. Your appearance matters, not as a trophy but as an honest signal that you care about your vessel. Well-fitted clothes, clean shoes, a scent that whispers instead of shouts, hands that show you take care of yourself. These are microsignals that align with your energy. None of it replaces presence, but all of it supports it. The goal is coherence. The man she sees matches the man she feels. That coherence is rare. It's why a quiet smile can do more than a loud joke. Let's deal with jealousy, comparison, and the myth that you need to be the loudest man in the room. You don't. The grounded man can stand beside the peacock and never shrink. He observes without envy, he appreciates without competing, and he chooses his moment to engage. When he speaks, he doesn't raise his volume, he lowers the noise, clean language, crisp point, relaxed delivery. He doesn't chase the spotlight, he becomes the focal point by being the calm middle of the storm. That center is compelling to women because it promises an experience of being with a man who won't wobble every time the room shifts. Now, a word about kindness. Kindness is not the enemy of attraction. Neediness is. Kindness rooted in self-respect is electricity. It's the held door with steady eyes, not the frantic, "Did you notice I held the door?" It's the small act without the invisible invoice. When your kindness has no hook, it lands as generosity. When it's a bribe, it repels. Check your motive before you act. If you're trying to purchase attention, stop. If you're expressing your character, continue. There will be moments when your own insecurity roars. You'll feel the impulse to perform, to talk over silence, to chase clarity when the situation is ambiguous. Use the moment as practice. Breathe. Choose one sentence that tells the truth and let it be enough. I'm enjoying this, and I'll stop trying to make it perfect. You'll feel your body unwind. She will too. Humans sync. When you regulate yourself, you help her regulate as well. That shared calm is a doorway to deeper connection than any line could ever create. If you grew up equating love with pleasing, you'll feel resistance as you let go of the nice guy armor. You'll worry that directness is cruel, that saying no is selfish, that desire expressed is dangerous. Reframe it now. Your clarity is kindness. Your no is honesty. Your desire, spoken with respect, is a gift because it gives the other person the freedom to choose you for who you are, not for the role you're performing. Women are not looking for a perfectly polished statue. They're looking for a man who can be seen. Flaws, edges, humor, fire, and still hold himself with dignity. Be that man, and you will stop chasing and start choosing. You want a simple daily practice to hardwire this? Every morning, name 2 standards you will live today. I will speak plainly. I will not over-apologize. I will make the invitation once and release the outcome. Then name 1 small risk you'll take. A compliment to a stranger, a decisive choice at work, a boundary you've been avoiding. At night, debrief yourself without punishment. Where did I hold my center? Where did I leak it? What's 1 adjustment for tomorrow? 5 minutes a day of that, and your nervous system will start defaulting to the behaviors that create attraction without effort. Do this for 30 days and watch how people respond differently. Not because you learned tricks, but because you are now congruent. When a woman senses that congruence, she relaxes her guard. She feels the relief of not having to yank clarity out of you. She feels the allure of a man who can praise her without pedestalizing her, who can tease without diminishing, who can lead without erasing her voice. That's when she leans closer, not because you forced it, but because you built a space where leaning closer feels natural. That's when texts get returned, dates extend, laughter stretches, and chemistry compacts the air between you into something alive. If you have a brother who needs to hear this, send it to him today. Don't keep it to yourself. Too many good men are trapped in a performance that is killing their attraction and their spirit. The way out isn't to become colder, it's to become stronger. Strong spine, warm heart, direction without rush, desire with respect. These are not slogans. They are the geometry of a masculine presence that draws in what is right for it and lets the rest pass without bitterness. As we close, take this with you. There are 2 paths before you at every moment. 1 path is the bargain. If I'm nice enough, small enough, agreeable enough, I will be chosen. That path ends in resentment because it starts with self-betrayal. The other path is the standard. I will be clear, respectful, and alive in my desire, and I will choose who chooses that. That path ends in connection because it starts with honesty. Choose the path of the grounded man. Choose the path that lets you look yourself in the mirror when no one is watching. You are not here to beg for attention. You're here to bring your full attention to your life and invite the right woman to share that attention. You are not here to prove that you have value. You're here to express it. You are not here to chase the fleeting thrill of being picked. You're here to become the kind of man who picks wisely. That is the shift from nice guy to alpha in the only way that matters. Alpha as author, the man who writes his own story, and welcomes a co-author instead of begging for an editor. If what you've heard tonight has woken something in you, stay with me, because this is just the beginning. There's more to refine: deeper communication, advanced calibration, the art of long-term polarity, and we'll go there. For now, take the next honest step. Compliment someone without a hook. Make an invitation and mean it. Hold your boundary and smile as you do. Then come back and tell me what happened. Drop your thoughts below. I read every single one. And if you're ready to rise with men who are doing this work, subscribe and share this with the one man you don't want to keep falling into the same patterns. Choose your path. Hold your center. Lead your life. The rest will follow.